screws with you all the time, he tells me.
Yes, he does.
He actually tells me that he uses electricity to reach you. So do you have weird things happen? Like the lights start to flicker and things like that? He says that's him. There's this man that's coming through that I keep hearing past of the head here in this world.
My brother.
Okay, he's here. Can you stand up? When I'm connecting, he was right here holding his head, letting me know that he's here. And he kept saying to me, there was no way I was going to survive this. There was no way I was going to survive this. And he's bringing this through. He says, you don't know the shit I used to do here in this world. This man was a party animal when I'm connecting with him back in the day. He tells me all the women wanted him when I'm connecting with him. Do you understand that? Because he says to me, Matt, I was so good looking back in the day. He goes, you don't understand. He goes, there were women with mattresses on their backs, he tells me. Waiting to be with him. Is that true?
Yes.
Why was there like, and he kept telling me about the rule. Was there like a rule that he couldn't date your friends?
Yes. Yes. He was not allowed to date our friends.
But he did anyways.
Yeah.
Listen, all I know is this. When I'm connecting with him, he says to me, Matt, you let them know. He says that to me. He says it was, don't ask, don't tell. He says that it wasn't my fault. He says that their friends wanted me. He's laughing about that. But I gotta tell you something. He's a hot shit because this man like got into trouble so much here in this world. He actually shows me that he was arrested once here in the physical world when I'm connecting with him. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And he says to me, Matt, he goes, you gotta know that when I was here, he goes, there was many times when I could have passed, when I could have left this world, when things could have happened to me. He says, because I was involved in a lot of shit.
Yes, he was.
But he tells me this. He says, please let them know that the day that I died, I would have never expected to pass in this way. And I need you to know that. What's really tough is that, first of all, was when I'm connecting with your brother, he keeps talking about not even remembering or not even knowing what was happening.
Slipped and hit his head and snapped his spinal cord and died instantly. It happened last year.
It happened last year.
Yes.
That's crazy because I couldn't understand when I'm connecting with him. He keeps telling me that he says to me, I blacked out. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. So he fell backwards, snapped his spinal cord, and that's how he died.
Yes.
Instantly.
Instantly.
That's crazy. Because I'm asking your brother, like, tell me what happened. He goes, I don't know. He goes, all I know, he says, is that he remembers all of a sudden just I don't know if it was falling down or what had happened. He keeps telling me when I'm speaking to him, all he remembers is that just seeing black, and the next thing you know, he's on the other side. He tells me, Matt, I don't remember a thing. And he's letting you know this for one reason, because he does not want you, by any means, to think that he had felt pain, that he was in pain, or that anything happens the day that he had died. He says, what I need for them to understand, he says, is that the moment that his eyes closed was the moment that he made his way to heaven, and he's telling me that. This was such a freak thing. Yes. Because like I said, when I connect with him, he shows me, Matt, you don't understand. When I was younger, he goes, I work like a dog, he tells me. He says, I would pick shit up, I would put shit down. He tells me one time he fell off the roof, he's telling me. Do you remember him falling off the roof?
That. He's a Mason.
So he fell off the roof?
Yeah.
So he says to me, he goes, Matt, he goes, this is what's so weird. And this is why, like, when you think things are weird, your loved ones will come through and explain it. And he keeps showing me a vision of him falling off the roof. And he goes, Matt, I didn't get hurt, I bounced back. That's how I was. I never fell, I bounced. That was me. Yeah. And when I'm connecting with him, it's funny because he is like a WWE wrestler when I'm connected with him on the other side. Like, he's walking like this when I'm connected with him. He shows me that he was always like the bull in the china shop when I'm connecting with him. He tells me when I'm speaking to him, Matt, let them know. He says, out of all the ways I could have predicted that I would die, it would not be this, he tells me. He says, you know how many times, he says, that I drank too much? He says, you know how many times, he says, that somebody else had to drive me home or do this or do that? He says to me that, first of all, what he needs you to know is that there wasn't more to the story. So I don't know if you questioned how he had died or what had happened when he died or any of those things. He says, this was just a freak accident, and he tells me that. So please know that what I need you to understand is when he came through to me and he was showing me his head, he tells me when I'm speaking to him that there was no way that he would ever be able to go and recover within his body. And that's not the way that I wanted to live, Matt. He says, but on the other side, he says, what's so beautiful is this. He goes, I didn't believe in this stuff. He says, I didn't believe in ghosts. I didn't believe in the paranormal. I didn't believe in the afterlife. He says, but I'm here. He says, to let my sisters know that in heaven, I am safe and at peace. And by the way, he screws with you all the time, he tells me.
Yes, he does.
He actually tells me that he uses, electricity to reach you. So do you have weird things happen? Like the lights start to flicker and things like that? He says that's him.
I knew it.
He also wants to thank you for something else. He says to me he wants to thank you for having beers in memory of him here in this world. So did you go to his grave or like let out beers in memory of him?
We had a campsite.
We had a campsite.
Shut the hell up.
We had a huge party.
Yeah.
I see everybody going and like dumping out their beer and say, this is for him, this is for him.
His favorite drink.
His favorite drinks.
So know that he knows about that. And he says to me, Matt, please let them know that from the other side, I saw the crazy part that they had. He says, let them know that in spirit, he says, I haven't changed. Don't think of me as dead. I'm just different. And my soul is always there and by their side. He just said to me, were you getting a tattoo in memory of him?
We all did.
Shut the hell up.
I got one right here.
He just said to me when I'm connecting, talk about the tattoo. He says, because when I died, he goes, this is how I would have wanted to be remembered, he tells me. So when you went out and you got the tattoo in memory of him, oh, wait, show me that tattoo again.
Mine's a Mason one for him.
Oh, shut the hell up. So is that when he went and got, hold on, show the camera right there. Is that when he went and fell off the roof? Yes. No, it's his way of acknowledging is that's how you remember him. On your body, know that he knows about that. He says, this is my way of letting them know. He says that I am their guardian angel with them every single day. Don't think of me on the other side as dead, he says, because my soul is always watching over them.